if the cadets can pack that much excitement into 12 minutes, then I'm sure we will see just as much from the mini drivers. Having said that, Vinnie Phillips took a storming win in the last heat race, the only win in the whole class. And as I said there, so Sarah Lohman watching the Oliver Rowrah Motorsport. Lots of support for the ORM team on the feed. Good to see so many people watching and supporting. I'm sure there's lots of support for all the drivers out there. Lots of people, when you think yesterday, 6,500 views by about 10 o'clock last night on yesterday's Alpha live stream, and I'm sure there'll be many more today. But, Anthony, take us through the grid for Mini X30, if you would, please, sir.
I would be more than happy to take you through so kind. Vinnie Phillips then will be starting on pole position with Gabriel Stilp starting in second place. Leo Robinson will be on the second row in third, and Rylan Etchberg in fourth place. They've had a tough day all day of racing today. Etienne Simmons in fifth place with Jack Hobson in sixth place on the grid. Moving on into seventh place is Wesley Swain. Then it's Ella Stevens in eighth place, Hayden Eldridge in ninth, Joseph Rippin in 10th place with Lewis Bird in 10th, and Freddie Allen in 12th place. Hopefully Lewis has actually made it to the actual...
No, Lewis has been sat there since the end of the repechage outside. He didn't want to miss his slot on the gate opening out onto the dummy grid for this one, so we should have all 12 a full complement. I won't say the dirty dozen, because I'm sure some of them had a bath last night. Here we go. Vinnie Phillips on your left of the screen, cart number 87, Gabriel Stilp. So the Fusion Motorsport Xspirit chassis of Vinnie Phillips will lead them out for the start of this one. The number 10 Mad Croc cart from Croc Promotions driver Gabriel Stilp on the outside. Then it's another Xspirit belonging to number 37 Leo Robinson on the inside of row 2, and the Tony Kart chassis of Litchfield Motorsports Rylan Eschberg, Kart 73 on the outside of the second row. The GP plate holder, the British Grand Prix winner, Coles Racing Ian Simmons on a Tony Kart chassis is he's the leading qualifier with the Aventus power.
We've had some drama in the grid. One of the karts didn't start up. It was the 28 of Ella Stevens, yes. But gets started now, makes the way out. A bit of there's someone who's had a spin there. Who's that? The 37.
It's Leo Robinson.
We've not even started the race yet, Leo.
But no, at least he's done it at the early part of the lap, so we can maybe catch up and retake his grid slot.
Are they allowed to do, is that...
if you get to the pack and you catch them up before a certain point on the circuit, you can retake a grid slot.
Okay.
You can't come hammering through the last corner as they're coming to the line and retake the grid slot. Then you've got to start at the back. But he should make it up there, although I don't know.
I don't think he has, no.
No, now he turns up coming like a bat out of hell, straight up there, and he is stuck now. He's going to have... he's stuck in the middle. He's in a bit of no man's land at the moment. No, he has found his spot. He has found his spot. And the judicious... Now, former British Championship clerk Alan Bryant was saying about, the tyre weaving thing. He was, having an argument. That's the reason why tyre warming isn't allowed, and they're going to go around again. And, so Alan Bryant, who I hope Alan is well and watching, but yeah, former clerk in this championship, which under another name at the time, he was saying about tyre warming. That's the reason why this saying not tyre warming, is you can see all the drivers have read the rules, because none of them are warming their tyres at the straight there, none of them are weaving around trying to, but when the tyres are cold, the power of these karts is such that when the tyres are cold, drivers can spin off very, very easily, and nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to spin off on a rolling lap while warming their tyres.
No,
that would be bad. But,
it's an embarrassing thing to do.
Yes. So,
our producer, Luke Austin, has definitely done that in the past in his karting days.
But here we go. So that's why he turned to TV.
Yes.
So here we go. So now Stilp on the outside is just getting himself ready. Vinnie Phillips on the inside. Now Robinson has got to sort of reset the mental brain and forget about that incident. Now Rylan Eschberg has worked very hard to get to the front. Are we going to see a breakaway by Phillips, or are we going to see... And Phillips cuts across from the start there to take the racing line, and Gabriel Stilp was forced wide. Somebody has spun in the background, but it is Phillips and Robinson 1-2. Etienne Simmons up to third, Stilp fourth, and Eschberg down to fifth. But that was a deliberate move there by Phillips to cut across the front and take the line. And that's the number 66 kart of Freddie Allen. Kato Motorsport driver who was spun off, but that was a deliberate move there to take the traditional racing line into the first corner. Stilp was there, and he was forced on the grass. It affected Stilp's rhythm, and now he's back and forth, but crucially, no breakaway yet. So can Robinson sort of work with his teammate, or is this going to be a bun fight for the next 12 minutes? Simmons has got to get his foot down and close in as Stilp makes a move to regain third place. And I have to say, under darkening skies, oh no, Etienne Simmons fights back, and this is slowing them down. It's allowing the two Fusion drivers in front to get away.
Yeah, there was a mistake from Etienne Simmons out of the penultimate corner that allowed the driver to get past.
Stilp has gone past again. Now he's saying things. So Simmons is slapping his head, saying, oh, like, you know, that was a bit of a forceful move.
Yeah.
Stilp is saying to him, come on. Eschberg is right there as well. And now, look at that. 20 kart lengths at least between the top two and the third place battle.
It's Fusion Motorsport 1-2. Coles Racing in third place at the moment. Etienne Simmons, of course, trying to hold on to, or actually, no, it's Stilp in third place. It hasn't updated on my timing screen, so it's Stilp in third place. As these two, like I say, they break away. They have got a gap of 0.8 of a second. They're going to want to close that in as soon as possible. Like I say, race has only just started. 10 minutes still to go. Plenty of time to get that done. As long as Vinnie Phillips and Leo Robinson keep their cool, keep their head down, just try and get to nearer the end of this race before the squabbling starts.
Yep, as well, they're trying to try and keep things nice and tidy for as long as they can. Gabriel Stilp has got to just get his head down. He's got no one behind him, so he's got no one to push him along. Eschberg takes fourth position, and Eschberg saying, now think, go. Think, go. You know, I'm sure Etienne Simmons was giving that exact signal to Ryan Eschberg 1 corner ago.
Yes.
And that's the problem. They'll think to themselves, well, you didn't listen to me, so why should I listen to you?
Yeah.
They'll go back in and forth on each other. There's Ella Stevens in kart number 28. And see, there we go, Eschberg.
Yep.
You know, and Simmons had already repassed Eschberg once or twice, and they've gone from being 20 kart lengths behind the top three to being 100 kart lengths behind the top three, just because they're too busy pointing at each other and not listening to each other and working together. But Eschberg is clattering over the curbs there. I think that's Ella Stevens up at the 5th position, but the gap between the top three and Eschberg in 4th, suddenly 1.7 seconds, just like that.
Stilp with the fastest lap of the race will be the cause of that 48.660, and that's allowed him to get right on the rear bumper now of Leo Robinson. A big look behind from Leo, a big look behind from Stilp. Stilp can see there's no one there, so he's free to attack. So will we see a move on this lap into these corners, or will we see it on the next lap as they go in? He goes to the outside here, cuts back in, can't do anything here as they go through Sunny Bend in towards Paddock Bend. Are we going to see a move here down the inside? Looked like he was going to do it, thought against it. He's holding that tighter line, so maybe he can get on the power earlier out of the corner, which is why he's doing that as they go up the hill now through the chicane. And as they go through, watch the rest of the field come through. Still some side-by-side action. Back into shot. There's the move. Still down the inside of the McRae's hairpin. Gets it done. Moves up into second. Says, think, let's go. And the 37 also says, fine, let's go.
But he was also saying, well, I was just doing that as well. But, I mean, what I was going to say, what Stilp has to be mindful of is that in the last race, Vinnie Phillips was able to break away and go. So if he was going to make a move, he had to make it cleanly without losing too much ground. And I think just about, on average, I mean, okay, the gap length is about 10 kart lengths, but he's managed to achieve that. He hasn't got involved in a lengthy tussle with Robinson that has allowed Phillips to escape. And of course, Phillips looking to try and do what was the weekend double yesterday.
Scrambling, looking for results.
It was Phillips, Robinson and Stilp the order yesterday. So Phillips, Robinson, Stilp yesterday. That's the order at the moment. No, it's not. It's Phillips, Stilp, Robinson today. Here's a good battle back in the pack. Okay, we've been concentrating on the top three. A long way back from them. It is Ella Stevens in 4th. It's this driver, the GP plate kart, in 6th position. So Eschberg is 5th. Etienne Simmons is trying to hold off Jack Hobson in the number 14 kart. Then you've got the 41 of Hayden Eldridge having a really good run. So Eldridge, Joseph Rippin, and Lewis Bird is having a disappointing run so far today. I mean, he was right up there in the final yesterday before he retired. Now he's slipped back. He's running down in 9th place behind Joe Rippin. 10th place rather. Wes Swain, and we saw Freddie Allen spin off earlier. He did get back on the track, but he's a long way down. And I think Wes Swain has had a moment as well, because Wesley is running in 11th place and he's about 5 seconds behind this battle.
Yeah, about 5 seconds behind this battle. As you said, it's not been a good start for them. Gabriel Stilp, fastest lap of the race again, 48.300 as we watch this battle further back in the field. The 41 looking to the inside. Can't quite get anything done there. The 44 as well, or the 54. No, it is the 44 of Lewis Bird. Sorry, is trying to cover us. Down the inside goes Hayden Eldridge, and gets another position there. 6.5 minutes left on the clock.
Right now, Rippin's having none of it. He goes straight back up the inside, and Eldridge runs wide, and he loses another place to Bird. And there you can see Hobson going through in the Madcrock Kart, kart number 14. He is running in 7th position. So Simmons in 6th place. Up at the front, I think we've had a change for lead up at the front. So Stilp moves into top spot. So Gabriel Stilp, for the first time all race on lap number 8. He slipped back to 4th place earlier on, and now he is back into the lead. He looks over his shoulder again.
I did see a comment on the stream saying, "Come on, Gabe, no looking behind."
Well, it's easier to say that from your sofa than to think, but it's cost him. It has cost him. You look behind, Phillips is back in front. So Vinnie Phillips does not want to have anyone in front of him. He wants to lead this one out from the front, and Stilp knows that he can't let Phillips get away. He's seen the fact that Phillips can pull away and pull out a gap, so he doesn't want to. If he can peg Phillips back into a 3-kart scrap, even though it's against 2 teammates, and Stilp is on his own. Ryan Ashberg has jumped the start, and Gabriel Stilp back into the lead. Now that's the 3rd time that Stilp has made a move under braking into McRae's. He went in on Simmons earlier on in the race. He passed Phillips a lap ago, and he just passed Phillips again, and Phillips has now been pushed back to 3rd place. It's now Stilp, Robinson and Phillips the top 3. 2.6 seconds back to Ella Stevens in the 3rd Fusion kart in 4th.
Yeah, it's been a tough race for these 3 so far at the moment. Just under 5 minutes to go. Again, still signalling to Phillips to say, let's go, let's just get out of here. Let's try and break away as much as possible. Oh, it was actually Robinson in 2nd place, sorry, he was saying that too. Phillips moving down into 3rd as they go through. 4.5 minutes left on the clock, and still all to play for with these top 3 just going through. Are we going to see a dive down the inside here from Robinson? No, we don't. They still say in that single file line. I think they have listened and are going to try and work together, because I think they've realised that we've been battling for a while now. We don't want the guys in 4th place to catch up.
Yeah, and the more that they battle, the more risk they take. Let's get to the last. If we're going to battle, let's leave it till when it matters most of all. Now, of course, I did see Gabriel Stilp sort of giving Leo Robinson the standard sort of work together finger. He may have been thinking that, okay, well, we don't want to be try and drop Vinny if we can. Don't think that's going to happen somehow. I think that these 3 drivers, barring a mistake now, are going to be nose to tail, like a limpet on a barnacle, clung together from the rest of this race. Here we go. There's Robinson. He's passing Stilp at Stilp's favourite overtaking place. Stilp runs wide, 2 wheels on the grass, slips back to 3rd position. Phillips now looks to the inside. Let's look at and we'll keep an eye on the gap between the top 3 and the number 28 kart of Ella Stevens in 4th place. It was 2.9 seconds. You just saw a flash of a nose cone onto the screen here, but she's been overtaken. Now Ashberg moves back into 4th place, but he's got a 5-second penalty, so it's still Stevens in 4th, even though she's 5th on the road, with 3 minutes to go. And Robinson, Phillips and Stilp. There's people trying to take odds on the winner for this one online. It's anyone's guess. Don't put your money down, because 3 drivers are even odds.
Yes, they are even odds, as we see here. The 37 moving,
no,
the 87, sorry.
The 87 on the 37.
Yes, sorry, they got 2 very similar numbers.
Yes.
The 87, yeah, Phillips down the inside, gets it done. Now here comes Stilp round the outside, gets forced out wide by the 37 of Robinson, so can't get it done. Robinson furious at Phillips, saying, come on, let's go, let's try break away from him, but they're not doing it yet. Stilp still right behind in 3rd place at the moment. There is no one behind you, Gabe, so just look in front, focus on those 2 in front of you. That's what you need to do. You're right behind them. Here we go, down the inside, 2 minutes left on the clock. Can anything be done? Phillips still holding on to the lead of this one as they cross the line. Robinson still 2nd, then it's Gabriel Stilp, then it's Etchberg, Stevens, Simmons. They're the next group of 3, and they are closing in. The gap is now 2.5 seconds, so they have closed in a few tenths of a second from these guys battling. They need to concentrate, they need to work together. It's nearly the end of the race. And
it is nearly the end of the race, you're right, but there's still a long way to go.
Yes.
That's one of those karting misnomers. It's a long way to go, but we're nearly at the end, because anything can happen in the next 4 corners. Oh, and Phillips runs Simmons wide. There's a mistake from Vinnie Phillips. First time that's been a mistake all race. He missed the apex, he missed the turning point for the Stuart S's there. Robinson pounced, and Phillips was lucky to get back online before Stilp poked his nose in, or poked there. And that crocodile has got, and that mad croc, they've got long noses. He poked that in, but it was wiped for him as Phillips got back online there. But that's the first time there, and here we go. Now what's the gap? 2.3 seconds. So Eschberg, even though he's got a penalty, he won't know that. And here we go again. Now will Phillips retake the lead? Oh, this is great racing. This is just great racing. I mean, the amount of lead changes, we must have, 10 to 15 lead changes in this race so far, and we've got a minute plus a lap to go. Still gets forced wide again.
There's some serious squabbling going on here. That gap now is ever closer. It's only 2.2 seconds now between those guys. These three really squabbling now as we go under a minute remaining on the timer. It's still Vinnie Phillips leading from Robinson.
Hello.
Still down the inside. What a move that was as they go into the final corner. And Phillips needs to respond really quickly. It's going to be last lap next time around as they come back across the start-finish line. But look at the gap to the guys behind. It's less than a second now.
Yep, and the problem is, though, the driver leading that train in the Litchfield Motorsport number 17, he's got a penalty. So he's really, even though he's leading him up the front, he's not in a battle for the lead. Eschberg, but he won't know that. Simmons and Ella Stevens are the ones trying to think, and still to the inside, having to defend, side by side for second. Robinson grabs second from and they've caught them. It's now 5 on, and Phillips looked over his shoulder, and he drew the cartoon where the eyes go, he looked over and saw that, and said, oh no, there's 3 more of them to deal with now. 6 karts. It's like the 6 million lottery numbers. You don't know which one to pick to win, and it's still leading in kart number 10. The clock strikes 0, and I'm glad that the last lap board's coming out, because I'm going to need to lie down after this one.
I've got a lump in my throat, as someone would say.
And Simmons has been spat out there. Simmons has been spat wide. And here we go then, game on. Last lap, Ethan Simmons' kart is beached on the curb coming out of the final corner. It's still who leads into McRae's. Robinson follows him in deeply. There is Simmons out of the race, up the straight towards Iredale's, and it is Stilp on the inside. Phillips on the inside. Here comes Ryland Eschberg round the outside. Robinson now takes third place. Ella Stevens is there in 5th. The 3 Fusion drivers, Linus Stern on the inside line. Stilp's going to get hung out to dry like yesterday's laundry. He somehow battles back in 3rd place, but there we go. Stilp's chance is gone. Who's it going to be? Head-to-head fight between Phillips and Robinson. Into St John's, through Sunny Bend. At 1 corner to go, the kart of Simmons has been moved. There's no yellow flags out, and it's going to be Vinnie Phillips to complete the weekend double. What a race!
What a race indeed that was. Still even happy with the 3rd place there. He was leading at the beginning of this lap, but again, very defensive driving, but incredible racing from all of the drivers out there today. Super, super close. Very exciting for the people watching at the track and, of course, at home as well. Who couldn't be here?
Yeah, and so Phillips wins. So let's have a look. Is that an actual replica of yesterday's podium? I think it, do you know what? I think it very well might be. Looking at that, there's a count there. Vinnie Phillips, so the race winner by, I mean, yesterday's podium. It was, yeah, it's an exact replica of yesterday's podium. And you might think to yourself, oh, the same 3 drivers, that didn't look very exciting. Oh, the results do not tell the entire story. That was a very special race indeed. Phillips, Robinson, Stilp, the top 3. Now, Ryan Eschberg, he's got a 5-second penalty, so he'll go down to, oh, well, look at that. So it's going to be Ella Stevens in 4th, Lewis Bird 5th, and then behind Lewis Bird, Jack Hobson will finish 100th of a second in front of Ryan Eschberg once that penalty has been replied. So Hobson will finish in 6th position. Eschberg will take 7th, Joe Rippin 8th, Hayden Eldridge 9th, Wesley Swain 10th, and Freddie Allen in 11th. And sadly, Ethan Simmons fails to finish. And here come the lead drivers. There's Vinnie Phillips coming into scrutineering, and there is the circuit. Oh no, circuit boss. There's a big hug as well for Vinnie. I think that's Tom Arm is Vinnie's mechanic. Tom Arm was an absolute weapon in a Rotax a few years ago, and I mean that in a positive sense. He was very good, and Leo Robinson finishes 2nd, and Gabriel Stilp, you saw him punching the steering wheel as he crossed the line, but he gave it his all. He just coming down the back straight. He was just pushed wide, and he finished in 3rd place. But a great race, and apart from Ethan Simmons, sadly, all the leaders got home. The X30. So we've got top 3. Now, we've got a few there. Let's have a look. So, today, the leading rookie in 8th place in the final was Joseph Rippin again. There's no leading final. The rookies here, priority is gone. So again, double top rookie for the MLC Motorsport driver. 8th place today. And now we move on to the top 3. Once again, the result was the same. The race was very different. A fantastic Mini X30 final. Finishing in 3rd place, Gabriel Stilp. Well done. Great race between Gabriel, Leo and Vinny. Finishing in 2nd place, just 1700ths of a second behind his teammate, Leo Robinson. The Anglo-Algerian driver. P2, but your winner today, doing the double this weekend, Vinny Phillips. Congratulations, and now I wonder if the Fusion team will shut up. Their driver's about to speak.
Awesome again, yes, let's chat to Vinny. Vinny, again, you did the double today, great racing throughout. It looked a little bit tight in that second final that we had today. Roller coaster of emotions, I suspect.
Yeah, it was a roller coaster adventure. Great for the double win, first time winning a British Champs, so it's good.
Awesome. I mean, yeah, today we were lucky with the weather holding out. The rain this morning, I bet, played a little bit into drivers' minds.
Yeah, it was wet this morning, a little bit slippy, and then it dried up for the heats, so it was good. So got the win in both heats, and then what put me on pole for the final, and won.
Awesome stuff, Vinny. Well, again, congratulations on the race win today.
Thank you.